Welcome everyone, happy new year and welcome to monthly motivation. If you are new to my channel, let me explain what monthly motivation is. Throughout the whole entire 2019 year, I did a monthly motivation the first of every month. This video is really just to inspire you and keep you motivated on achieving your goals, whatever they are for you. Now, I am not a big person on motivation and inspiration because I believe that it is something that does not sustain us when it comes to achieving goals. If you are new, I encourage you to watch my videos, get familiar with my message and what I put out here on YouTube, and you will understand more what I mean by motivation and inspiration not sustaining us. But what I plan on doing for 2020 is continuing this series of doing a monthly motivation video the first of every month. This can be on whatever topic. Often it has something to do with weight loss or starting an exercise routine, but it can also be other areas. It's really just in ways and methods and tips of achieving your goal, whatever it may be for you. So it's just a way to keep you kind of on the plan or on the path or on the journey to betterment, really. I also want to share a little bit about myself before I get into what I have to say about making new goals for the new year or New Year's resolutions. I am a mother of 5 daughters. I've been married for 27 years. My husband and I have 5 daughters. We have 4 adult daughters. 3 of them are completely on their own, and 2 of them are engaged to be married. 1 in 2020, maybe 2 this year. I'm not sure about the second one, as she just recently got engaged. So it could be a very busy year for our family, and we are thrilled. My 4th daughter is a freshman in college. She is away, but I still would consider her to be at home because she does come home for different holidays, and she will be back at home for the summer. So she's not completely out on her own like her 3 older sisters. Then we have a little late bloomer. She is in 8th grade. Her name is Chloe. Many of you know her as Pips. She just turned 14. I am a health, wellness, and life coach. I have been coaching for about 10 to 12 years. I started out strictly health and wellness, and I also did personal training where I went into women's homes or offices, and I would train them individually. So I had different ladies that own their own business, and I would literally go to their office and train them or into their home. I segued out of that business and wanted to get back into the home, and I continued to do health and wellness coaching. I also used to write diet and exercise programs for clients. I no longer do that. I just coach in that area. I also coach in anything to do with life. So this could be confidence. Battling low self-esteem is a real big one. It could be on budgeting. It could be on parenting, time management and organization, dysfunction in families or relationships. There is no area that I do not coach in. I coach in every area because when I coach, it's not the topic that I am so much coaching. It is you, the client. So whatever area you need assistance in and guidance and maybe a little help, maybe in getting you to navigate towards the goals that you would like to achieve, seeking out a life coach is a great way to facilitate in that happening. That gives you a little bit about me. Now, what I want to do today is share some observations that I have witnessed in my 12 years of coaching when it comes to goal setting, making big goals, or making New Year's resolutions. I'm going to kind of use diet and exercise as our example because for most people, there's something to do with losing weight for their New Year's resolution or picking up and starting an exercise routine. And one of the things that I've really realized over the 12 years that I have been working with individuals in all areas of life, including diet and exercise, is that these New Year's resolutions often are so pie in the sky. They're so extreme. It's kind of like that black and white thinking. There's no gray area. I'm all in. I'm ready. This is the year. This is the decade. Yeah, I failed in the past, but we're in a new decade now. I'm going to make it happen. And they go really, really extreme. So instead of kind of easing themselves in to whatever the goal is, they go all in, and they don't really look at everything that revolves around achieving that goal. The other thing is, when it comes to almost all areas of life, if not all areas, it has more to do with what is going on up here than anything else. And what happens is we rely on motivation. We rely on inspiration. I've also observed that those individuals that are so big on their New Year's resolution, a lot of times those are big social media scrollers because there's so much hype and they fall prey to the hype, and it's very motivating. But unfortunately, when it comes to what's going on upstairs, motivation is not what sustains us. To really be able to achieve a big goal requires an element of emotional intelligence. So if someone really wants to achieve a really mammoth, huge goal, pie in the sky, they have to understand that it's really not about the food. It's not about the exercise program. It's not about this short-term motivation that you're going to get the first couple weeks, hashtag new year, new goals, because you're motivated. Those things aren't going to carry you. And that's really the missing link that I have observed and witnessed for many years with my clients. I also know that doesn't sustain me. I don't ever make New Year's resolutions. I'm a very goal-oriented individual, so I'm always making goals. It could be a goal for that day. I may have a goal just for today to get a workout in and to eat clean. That's it, goal for the day. There's no pie in the sky. I'm not looking too far ahead. Now, believe me, I am someone that looks at long-term goals. I have 10-year goals, believe it or not. 10-year. I have a document with my 10-year statement, my mission statement. I have 5-year goals. But what I love to work in is quarters, and then I break those quarters down to monthly goals. So I'm goal-oriented all year long. If you're the one hashtag new year, new goals, what I encourage you to do is pause for a moment and reflect and look at what it's looked like for you over the past 5-10 years. And how many years have you made the same New Year's resolution? And when do you feel you fell off from achieving that? Or what worked for you? It's really getting into the head instead of everywhere else. We're just thinking about the body. You have to think about what's going on up here and take some of that past history, know your triggers, and know what's going to kind of take you out of your lane. I often talk about staying in your lane. And, it's so easy to veer off into a different lane. And often we are trying to do what other people do instead of looking at ourselves and saying, well, what's worked for me in the past? What hasn't worked for me? What are my triggers? What's coming up over the next 3 months that could get me out of my lane of achieving this goal? I talk often with my clients about having your eye on the prize. And the prize is your goal. So you want to get in your lane and you want to drive along your lane. Now it gets curvy and it gets bumpy, and we should expect that. But you're always keeping your eye on the prize. So when the brownies or the donuts get brought into the office, if you truly don't want those brownies or those donuts because your eye is on the prize at that time, then you need to stay in your lane. But it really takes this right here, emotional intelligence, to be able to do that. Now, if you planned on and intended on indulging in the donuts or the brownies, that's okay because you chose that. You weren't pulled and tugged into a lane that you didn't want to travel. So it's not that you can't, when you're trying to lose weight, have something that is indulgent, that maybe is high in sugar, that obviously isn't going to serve you in losing weight, but once in a while you need it to keep you on track. It's not wrong to have that. That would only be a judgment, because wrong and right are only judgment words. It's just if you chose to have it, or if you had it because you got weak and couldn't control what's going on up here. So really, the point that I'm trying to make is setting these goals need to come from the head, whatever the goal is. If your goal is to wrap your head around your finances and really get into a good place, then it's going to require this right here. And looking back at what your triggers are, what is your pattern, what gets you out of your lane. So you have to take some time to think about this. For myself, it's all about living optimally. Optimal living is what I strive for day in, day out, weekly, monthly, and yearly. It's about optimal living. But to live an optimal life, it's not about fixing the food or fixing the exercise routine. It's about fixing the mind and becoming emotionally intelligent in other areas of your life. And a lot of that has to do with your relationship with yourself, your relationship with food, which comes from here, your relationship with exercise, how you view it, how you see it. What does your binoculars look like in those areas? Not someone else's. You have to focus on how you see it. And that all comes from what's going on upstairs. Your relationship with people. People can play a pivotal role in taking us out of our lane. Now, they aren't the one actually pulling us into a different lane. We are doing that. But if you're not emotionally intelligent, you will always play the victim and blame other things for everything. Well, I was doing just fine, eating clean all week, and then one of my coworkers brought donuts in. So instead of taking responsibility for yourself, you blame it on the donuts or the person. And this really is in so many areas of our life. Now, I'm going to come back here next Monday with a video on how to be a high caliber person and to live an optimal life in 2020. That really would have been the New Year's Day video, but I wanted to get this one in first. I wanted to talk to you about the goal setting and the New Year's resolutions to really help you identify today what really needs to be the goal. Is it just, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds? I don't know. You tell me. How has that worked for you in the past? Because if it's just, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds, I'm done eating, I'm gonna starve myself, often that's not what's going to serve us to live a high caliber and optimal life. It's just so extreme. Maybe you step back a little bit and say, why don't I just ease into this slowly and make a goal for today? Some of you will start that goal, your New Year's resolution, today on the 1st. Some of you give yourself the first as that last day to indulge and overdo it, and you start tomorrow because it's kind of a holiday and some people do get together for different things. And some of you will choose to start next week when your kids go back to school, or maybe when you go back to work. None of it is wrong. It's not right or wrong. Those are just judgments. It's however you want to judge it. And it's not anyone else's plan. It's not anyone else's lane. So you do you. Emotional, intelligent people, they do themselves. They don't worry about anyone else. They may wave to you when you drive by their lane, but that's it. They've got their eye on the prize. Okay, but going extreme, I don't know, have you done that in the past? And if you have, what happened? I think the average date when most people fall off the resolution wagon is January 17th. And often it's because the pie in the sky, the big mammoth goal, the hairy, audacious goal, as Jim Collins said in his book, Good to Great. You have to ask yourself, how is that serving you? Is that going to get me to my goal? Is it going to carry me on this journey? Maybe I just need to ease in and take it slow. Maybe not make any mammoth goals. Be realistic. If I'm coming from 0 workouts, how am I going to achieve 4 in 1 week and be able to sustain that when I'm coming from 0? So you have to really do some big picture thinking here. But Monday's video to me is where it's really at. It's not going to really talk about diet and exercise. We do touch on weight. I'm going to have 10 tips. And in those tips are going to basically be me doing the resolution work for you. I am going to give you your 10 New Year's resolutions. So it's not just one that you are going to go after to become a high caliber person and live an optimal life in 2020. It's going to be a lot of what's going on up here. So I'm going to make your resolutions for you. Many people hire me for goal setting. Many people. That's a big, big area that I coach in. And what people share with me all the time is they really don't know how to set goals. So I thought, why not just set the goals for you, right? Because I know what it takes to be a high caliber person and to live an optimal life, because I strive for it every day. It's on my bucket list every single day. So I'm going to share those with you. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Hit the bell so you can get immediate notification when a new video goes out. Let me also share that in the drop-down box below this video, you'll see a Show More tab. The box will expand. What I do is I put videos in that drop-down box as well as on my corresponding blog post, which you'll see a link to that. I provide all the nuggets that I've shared in past videos that pertain to this. I can't even do all of them because there are so many videos that I have out there on all of this. And often people will ask me to do a video on a topic. It's there. I've already done it. So go through the library, do a marathon of videos. Maybe you say every day for the next week, I'm going to watch 2 of Tracy's videos. They're out there. So I'm here to help you. I'm coaching you right now. This is what coaching is. I also have a newsletter that goes out twice a week, every Tuesday and every Friday. I encourage you to subscribe. You're going to miss some things if you don't. I share articles. I share recipes. I just share. It's more coaching. A lot of it is. The other place that you don't want to neglect following me on is Instagram stories. I coach there. When I get on Instagram stories, it's not just this and that. No, there's a message. Every time I get on, there's a message. A lot of times I'm answering your questions. So if you enjoy my content, Check me out on all of those platforms. I'm constantly giving you more nuggets for life. I'm helping you keep your eye on the prize and stay in your lane to get there, whatever it looks like for you and whatever that prize is for you. All right? Great. Awesome. Make today a great day. It's okay if you are not back on the plan today. Pat yourself on the back, okay? It's okay. Give yourself grace and quit judging yourself. That's another thing we'll talk about when I come back on Monday, okay? Love to all of you. I'm looking forward to such an awesome 2020. I have a lot of things coming for all of you to help you to become a high caliber person and live an optimal life. All right, we'll see you Monday. Take care.